Buonasera e bentornati ascoltatori di London One con quest'altra puntata di London Calling molto interessante, direi, perché oggi si parla di cinema. Non so se lo sapete, ma dal 20 al 24 marzo c'è la nuova e 14ª edizione di Cinema Made in Italy. I never felt so much like Quindi abbiamo una grande partecipazione anche del pubblico britannico che si interessa al cinema italiano grazie al CEO della Film London and British Film Commission, Adrian Wootton, who's with us tonight. Thank you very much, Adrian. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. It's lovely to be with you.
Thank you very much. So let's talk about this new 14th edition, because I mean, just by looking at the movies that you wanted to include in this new edition, I'm quite impressed. Also because there are a lot of female directors finally. So tell us more about it.
Well, I'm really delighted about this year's 14th edition of Cinema Made in Italy because, as you say, we have a really diverse and I think exciting lineup of films in different genres. We have war movies, we have historic dramas, we have action thrillers,
Yes.
we have romantic films. We have all of this, and at the same time, we have a really interesting spread of established filmmakers, people who've made multiple movies and are well known to the general public, and movies from first-time directors, as you say, with a really great selection of female directors over the course of the week. And so there's an awful lot to choose from. It shows very much the health of Italian cinema and the breadth of Italian cinema.
Great. I'm very happy about it. I'm going to translate a little bit for our listeners who are right now tuning in from Italy as well. Quindi siamo con il CEO della Film London and British Film Commission che ha curato questa 14ª edizione grazie anche all'aiuto di Cinecittà, e pensate che ci saranno tantissimi film, tra poco poi ne citeremo alcuni, ma la cosa più importante che è emersa quest'anno è che il 50% dei film selezionati sono diretti da delle donne registe. Ci voleva, perché sfortunatamente l'abbiamo notato anche noi in passato facendo anche delle interviste molto interessanti con delle registe. Purtroppo il cinema, così come anche altri settori lavorativi, sono male dominated, but now things are changing finally. But let's start with the first movie. So what's the first screening that we're gonna watch on the 20th? I think with Edoardo De Angelis.
Edoardo De Angelis' Comandante, which is obviously, I think, quite an important film in terms of its historical and cultural significance in Italy, because it's a true story set in World War II about an extremely brave submarine commander played by the wonderful Pier Francesco Favino, who decided against all military orders to save a crew from a foreign country who they'd sunk the ship, and he makes a very, very radical decision to save the sailors, which was against military law, his military law at the time. And it's a really powerful drama, really well acted. It's a big scale movie. It's a great movie to kick off the Cinema Made in Italy week, and it also, of course, launched the Venice Film Festival last year.
That is true. I remember that because we were there with our colleagues covering the festival as well in Venice, meeting different actors. Quindi dal 20 di marzo scopriremo anche, guarderemo Il Comandante, sapete, il nuovo film con Pier Francesco Favino che ha avuto grandissimo successo. Noi eravamo anche alla Biennale di Venezia dove è stato presentato, è stato un momento incredibile, e quindi diciamo che partiranno proprio con questo film. And I think there are gonna be also meetings and Q&A with the directors.
Absolutely, and I think Eduardo is joining us. He's there on the opening night, which is fantastic. So
Perfect.
I'll be there to welcome him and for him to talk to the audience about this great new film being screened for the first time in the UK. So and we have performers and directors right the way through the week. It's one of the great characteristics of Cinema Made in Italy. It's a real opportunity not just to see the new films, but to actually see the filmmakers and have the opportunity to talk to them and ask them questions. And we're doing that pretty much every night. So there's a great lineup of guests kicked off by Eduardo, and you mentioned the female directors, and of course the big sensation, Paola Cortellesi, where there is Still Tomorrow, which, biggest film in Italy, biggest film in Italy.
In the world, to be honest, because it's achieving a good rates also in the UK. So I'm very curious. So Paola Cortellesi will be in London.
She is coming for both screenings in London on Saturday, and she'll be there to introduce the film and to take questions.
Oh my goodness, ragazzi, quindi preparatevi, perché dal 20 di marzo non solo voi guarderete i film, ma avrete l'opportunità di conoscere di persona i registi, ma anche alcuni performer che hanno fatto parte anche del cast dei diversi film, e voi potrete addirittura fare delle domande alle quali poi i registi risponderanno. Ci sarà anche Paola Cortellesi, lei sarà qui a Londra per 2 giorni, quindi un'emozione grandissima. But to be honest, I'm very curious about the role that the Italian film industry is playing today in the UK.
Well, I mean, we have a great relationship with Italian cinema. Obviously, a number of Italian films are being released. I mean, Marco Bellocchio is in this country actually on Thursday talking about his new film, Kidnap, which is also being released in the cinemas. We have the Cinema Made in Italy program. There's films screened at the London Film Festival. We actually even have some Italian producers, people like Carlo Crestodina, who are based in the UK, and I think we have a really exciting and developing cultural relationship. I mean, with my own organisation, the British Film Commission, we signed a partnership agreement with the Italian Film Commission last year, and we're doing all kinds of projects working together. We're going to do an event together, a producers exchange event together this year in Cannes. So there's a really developing and rich cultural relationship, and I think audiences in the UK are really interested in Italian cinema.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a good sign, to be honest. So also the screenings will be subtitled in English, I believe.
All of the screenings will be subtitled in English, and there will be our very well-established translator, Stefania, who will be translating from Italian into English for those people that don't speak English in the Q&As as well.
I mean, the most important question, I missed that. Where are the screening going to play in the UK, in London? Where can we come?
It's at the wonderful Cine Lumiere screening room, as part of the French Cultural Institute in Kensington. Very easy, very convenient to get to, using both of their beautiful cinemas there from Wednesday, March the 20th, right through till Sunday, March the 24th. And there's the first screening is on that day, on the Wednesday, and then there are 2 screenings a night on the Thursday and the Friday. The Saturday we have no less than 4 screenings, because we've also got a children's animated movie in the daytime.
Yes.
We have,
I think it's been awarded as well, that movie.
Yeah, it is. It's a lovely film. The Linda Il Polo, and that's on at 1:30 that day on the Saturday. And then we have also on Saturday this terrific action thriller, Adagio, which is a really full throttle crime thriller, and really, really well done by Stefano Solima, and for people who really like powerful, fast-paced action thrillers, then it's a real movie to catch.
Quindi al Cine Lumiere, che è il polo dell'Istituto di Cultura francese, ci saranno questi screening, quindi mi raccomando, fate presto anche a prendere i vostri biglietti per partecipare. E la cosa interessante che ha detto anche Adrian proprio questa sera è che c'è una partnership importante tra la British Film Commission e l'Italian Film Commission, ed infatti ci saranno ulteriori eventi che coinvolgeranno le 2 comunità, italiana e britannica, prossimamente. Quindi vediamo che il cinema, la cultura anche del cinema italiano, sta avendo un forte impatto anche nel mondo e nel territorio britannico. Before ending our conversation, Adrian, I would like to understand, so in this edition, what are, according to your opinion as well, the prevalent subjects that will prevail?
Well, it's interesting. I think you mentioned female directors, and the fact that we really do have some. I mean, there is Tomorrow is a really powerful story about the women trying to get independence, getting the vote in Italy. There is a beautiful coming of age film based on a classic novel by Laura Lucchetti, A Beautiful Summer, which is just fantastic film, and so I think women's stories are a powerful element of this festival. I think also youth is a very powerful element of this festival. Where you've got film like Holiday, again about a young woman who is released from prison and trying to rebuild her life after being accused of a terrible crime, and that's a kind of thriller as well. So youth and the state of youth, women and young women's sensibilities, but also looking at contemporary and historical Italian culture. And we
stories. Yes.
So and we end with a beautiful film with Alice Rowacher, Chimera, which has also got British distribution. So there's really something for everybody, and even the restored classic of Luchino Visconti's Bellissima on Sunday afternoon, which is a beautiful opportunity to see that as well.
It is. So to rediscover also part of our culture that made history in international cinema, not only in Italy. So thank you very much, Adrian, for this opportunity. I mean, I want to translate what you said because it's quite incredible. Quello che ha detto è che i temi principali che vengono e fuoriescono da questa edizione sono essenzialmente le donne e anche la gioventù, le giovani donne che vogliono addirittura anche ricostruirsi una vita dopo degli episodi spiacevoli che hanno portato poi queste donne ad essere a vivere un periodo anche in carcere. Quindi vediamo che c'è una particolare attenzione sulle donne. Non a caso il 50% dei film selezionati sono appunto diretti dalle donne, quindi spazio alle donne, and I'm very proud of this as a woman, also because we are saying this kind of stuff during the week dedicated to the women, because on the 8th, so in a few days there's going to be International Women's Day. So thank you very much, Adrian.
My pleasure.
For this, and we'll see you then at Cine Lumiere.
See you at Cine Lumiere.